Hello, nerdologists. It's Wednesday. And Michelle, on Monday, you made an awesome video about awesome historical people who changed the world. And I would like to thank you for that video because I like learning about those things, but I'm too lazy to do the research myself. So thank you. And Chelsea, on Friday, you talked about a study that you linked to the paper, and then I didn't read the paper, but I'm still gonna try and hypothesize some stuff about that because I like hypothesizing. It's fun. So, in your video, you mentioned that the study compared people in relationships like in real life and then who are also in relationships on the social networking thing Second Life. And the study found that men were just as satisfied with their relationships in both IRL and URL. And I found this result interesting because I thought men would be more satisfied with their real life relationship versus their second life relationship because we're told this like cultural myth that men are like more physical than women, and basically that's the only reason men are in monogamous relationships. And I find this really demeaning to men. Like, men can't just have friendships with people or deep connections with people if there isn't some sort of like aspect of sex involved. Like, no, men are people too. Men can have relationships and conversations with people. And clearly, this study supports that idea in that men are just as satisfied with real life relationships as they are with internet relationships. So, good job for you, men. You are people too. The second thing you talked about was that women were more satisfied with their second life relationship versus their real life relationship. And I think that is interesting too. I'm not really sure what to make of that finding. Okay, so here's one possible hypothesis. So women are always being judged on their physical appearance when they're out in real life. And so maybe Second Life is sort of a way for them to combat that. And I know you have an avatar in Second Life, but you can like choose what your avatar looks like, right? I'm assuming. I know nothing about Second Life. And so maybe the avatar looks more like how women want to look versus how they actually look. And other people in Second Life like are either judging them based on that avatar or are less concerned about the looks, and so women aren't as self-conscious about that. And so when you remove like that one thing that women are worrying about, then maybe that becomes easier for them to open up to people and makes them more satisfied because they're not always thinking about how they look. I don't know, that seems like a good hypothesis. And just one thing I think we should keep in mind after all of my hypothesizing about gender differences is that in general there tends to be more variation within gender categories than between gender categories. So while I think it's important that we do research looking at differences in gender because clearly gender has a lot of impact on how we interact in society and how others perceive us in society, that we should remember that gender is still a social construct, and if we didn't have the categories of male and female, people would be allowed to act the way they want to act. I got a lot of issues with gender. So on that note, I will see you all next week. Bye!